Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran in English Basics for Beginners. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Surah 23, verse number 20. Also, a tree springing out of Mount Sinai, which produces oil and relish for those who use it for food. This is a blessed tree, the olive tree, an amazing tree, an olive neither of the east nor of the west, an amazing fruit, and we love olives. Myself, I absolutely love olives, and I love feta cheese. So whenever you invite me to your house, remember to give me biryani. I'm allergic to chicken for whatever reason, but medically, I ended up in hospital after that. So whenever you invite me, give me a nice plate of hot biryani, mutton biryani or lamb biryani or prawn biryani, and then you give me Greek salad. No onions. I'm also allergic to onions. But in that Greek salad, you put a lot of lettuce and you put a lot of olives. And you put a lot of feta cheese. Yes, like I'll be your best friend. Whoa, right? So also a tree springing out of Mount Sinai, which produces oil and relish for those who use it for food. And in cattle too, you have an instructive example. From within their bodies, we produce milk for you to drink. There are in them besides numerous other benefits for you, and of their meat you eat. So let's look at some of the benefits for cattle. And this is a nice example for the Gen Z, or if you've got some kids or grandkids at home, ask them, hey little kids, tell me in what way do we benefit from cattle, like from the cows and the sheep? What benefit can we get from them? And so the kids will say, okay, look, we can get milk from them. We say, yes, very good. What else? Then you say, okay, we can put weight on them, we can ride them. You say, yes, very good. That means they can carry load for us. We say, very good. And remember, in the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, what was known as the ox wagon trains. You look at America, and if you're a favorite, like I love to watch the Wild West movies, the American movies with the cowboy and the Apache, the Honorable Sioux and the Comanche warriors and all of that. And you would find that the settlers would be traveling from east coast of America to go to the west coast on the gold rush. And they would very often travel along the wagon trains, the ox wagons, that would carry the people who were there to look for their wealth. This was before the Chinese people instrumentally primarily built the transcontinental railway line between the East Coast and the West Coast, right? So this is known as the ox wagon trains. And ox are also used as beasts of burdens on farmland, and in many other instances as well. As for example, for us in South Africa, during the groot trek en alles, daardie mense vat jou goed en trek Ferreira, vat jou goed en trek, right? So you need to load your wagon, you get your oxen there, and they're going to pull. So they are burdens of beasts. So we see, yes, so what else can you get from cattle? Then you say, okay, then you can slaughter them, and you can eat their meat. You can have a lekker braai there, and you say, right, very good, you can eat the meat. What else can you do? You can say, okay, you can take their skin, you can make leather out of it. Out of the leather, you can make tents. Like in the old days, they needed tents, or if you're traveling through the desert, you needed a lightweight shelter. So you can make a tent, you can make a house for you, or you can make bedding for you, because famously Nabi Sal'lal'laa'hu A'layhi Was'sal'lam was sleeping on pillow and bedding made out of leather. Maybe that leather was from a cow or from camel. Most likely it was from camel. So you can make bedding out of leather, right? And then you can make the tendons of the animal. You can use it like for fish cut, or you can use it to, for example, make holes that you could stitch clothes together and so on. You can use it as shoelace. So there's many, many benefits that we can get from this amazing thing called cattle. And on them, as well as in ships, you ride, right? So use the cattle to ride on them, because they are beasts of burden, and they have been subjected, they have been made subservient to human beings. But human beings are not supposed to treat them with cruelty. You must treat them with kindness and love. Make sure that on your journeys and your travel, you look after them. Don't burden them with so much weight that famously the camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back, right? So don't make them so burdened, and make sure that they have regular rest periods. Remove the weight from their back. Let them eat the food. Give them a lot of water to drink and so on. Because you must remember something about an animal. An animal won't stop and say, hey, boss, I'm hungry, ne? Hey, boss, I need some water, ne? No, animal won't do that. It is your job as the master of that animal to look after it. And that is why famously a horse is so loyal. If you sit on that horse and you got a long journey and you tell that horse to run, that horse is going to run. That horse will run as long as you are telling that horse run. That horse will run even if it has to drop dead. It won't stop. That is how loyal a horse is. That horse won't have food in its stomach, and you wake it up early in the morning. Say in the old days, in the 1700s in London, there's a doctor there, and he gets an emergency call. There's a woman giving birth, or someone has been stabbed. They urgently need a doctor. They need stitching. So what does a doctor do? The first thing, he grabs his small medical bag. The next thing, he goes into the corral and he jumps on his horse. The horse doesn't say, hey boss, hey doctor, man. It's middle of the night, man. And for heaven's sake, why are you waking me up? No, that horse is ready. The horse won't say, hey, I need to have breakfast. No, that horse is going to start running until it drops dead. So we, as the owners of animals, the onus is on us to make sure that our animals are properly fed, they are well looked after, they are bathed regularly. And if you've got dogs and cats in your house, make sure you brush their fur off regularly. Make sure they don't have any ticks and other types of things on them. Send them to the vet on a regular basis, get their vaccinations and so on. Make sure that the animals are well cared for under your care, right? Because they're not going to complain. So don't let them complain against you on the day of judgment, because they don't have a tongue to complain in this world. But we must be alert to their suffering. Look after yourself. Alhamdulillah.